Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Real Hernando, presented by Thrive Entertainment and powered by SRP Studios Podcasting. This is your front row seat to the people, businesses, and stories shaping Hernando and DeSoto County. Catch us everywhere you watch and listen. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Today, we are spotlighting my good friend, Neil Colley, as my scripts were out of order. I'm a professional, Neil, I promise you.
I just skip by all that stuff for some reason. You put them out there for me, and then I just lose them.
See, he's a podcast host. He's ready to talk already, but it's not your turn yet,
not
sir.
my turn, man.
It's my show.
I'm sorry.
So today's guest is Neil Colley. You just heard him. You can see him right now on the screen as we speak. He's the founder of the Fancy Nancy Foundation and host of the Local Yokels podcast, created in honor of his mother, Nancy Colley. The Fancy Nancy Foundation supports nonprofits, charities, and families throughout DeSoto County and surrounding communities through impactful fundraising initiatives like vehicle raffles, and they have a current one right now. They're raffling off a beautiful Jeep Rubicon, and we'll get more into this as we do the interview, but they're raffling off a beautiful Jeep Rubicon and raising funds for the House of Grace, a local domestic violence shelter, providing safety, support, and resources for individuals dealing with domestic violence across the region. It's $20 a ticket. You can go to FancyNancyFoundation.com to purchase those tickets. Again, we'll get deeper into this. He's also passionate, the community Cupid himself.
I love it.
About spotlighting local organizations and businesses that make a difference while helping connect communities through storytelling, education, and outreach. The Local Yokels podcast has put a spotlight on many people and organizations such as House of Grace, Leah's House, the Buchanan House, Warrior Center, Healing Hearts, just to name a few. Podcast is over 60 episodes at this point. But Neil, thanks for being here, ladies and gentlemen. My good friend, too, I should say, proud customer.
Customer
of SRP Studios Podcasting, and my friend.
Thank you.
Neil Colley.
Appreciate it, man.
How you doing, man?
Glad to be here.
How does it feel to be on that side of the table?
Well, it's unusual for sure.
Yeah.
I did coach a show, and it was different. Yeah, it definitely is.
Coach Camp. A lot of my audience.
Coach Camp.
A lot of my audience knows Mr. Coach Camp. But yeah, motivatewithcoachcamp.com, another proud SRP Studios production.
Yep.
So you and I met through Coach because you were a guest on his podcast.
Yeah, a couple of years ago we did where it all kind of got started for me, the Feed My Lambs organization that my mom was so passionate about and helping, where we provide backpack meals on Fridays for food security for kids on the weekends, down in Walls and Lake Comert. And that kind of morphed into what we do these days with the raffles and stuff. Raffles for resources. That's our little slogan we come up with. So,
I like that.
Because it provides resources for the community. But that's where it all kind of came from originally, And then once she passed, we kept growing with what we was doing. I'm like, man, we got to, we have to get more organized with this thing. So had some friends and people like that got involved and helped us kind of organize it. And
should we shout out Randy?
Shoot, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Roofworks. Randy Hendrickson couldn't do any of it without him.
So he's sort of the co-founder with you for the Fancy Nancy.
I would say thought process, my daughter, my son, my daughter Ashlyn and Caleb and Randy. Yes. Yeah. And my brother, of course, when we threw it at him, he was like, I love it. So
it's a family affair. It's in honor of your mom.
Yeah.
Because and there's so many people that you have on your show that knew your mom.
It's wild. Sometimes I meet people that I didn't even know they knew her. You know what I mean?
And she was just that pure, generous, giving.
Oh, man. Kind heart, open heart.
Help people. And you are carrying that torch well, sir.
Well, thank you.
You're not as pretty as your mom. But
well, yes, I agree with that. She was very fancy, and I am not. So that was hence the Nancy. She didn't have a license plate, believe it or not, that said Fancy Nancy. Yeah. That's a fact.
You are not a bougie person.
Not at all.
Although you wear good shirts. That's the one thing that you like. You like a good shirt.
I know we've talked about that before. I think that it's just how I like to dress, and I figured if I spend a little money on them, they'll last longer until I mess them with my trucks or something, you know what I mean?
I can stain a black shirt.
Oh, dude,
you know what I'm saying?
My wife gets so mad at me. She's like, "You just got this shirt," But that's the only thing I like. It's like a decent button-up shirt. That's all it is.
So you're on Motivate with Coach Camp for Feed My Lambs. That's where we meet.
Yeah.
This is my first location, but your eyes were open to the studio, and you're like, I really like this. I might need to talk to you because I might want to do something to help. Create a platform for yourself.
I was searching. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I just knew we needed to do more. You know what I mean? And then I was coming off, my mom had just passed away. And so we were in the reels of like, this was like the first time we were doing it without her. Had a hugely successful deal going on at that time.
Because at that time you were promoting a big
barbecue fundraiser. Yeah. Yes. It was the normal stuff, car show things that we did every year. And I had Miss Sandy and Billy that came on with me on that show. And I'd reached out to Coach and I'm like, dude, we need some help promoting this. He's like, well, yeah, come on. So when I seen your facility and how you were doing it so professionally, because I had thought about it, but I'm like, I can buy all the gear, but I don't know a thing about editing, or do I even have the time? No, none of that stuff. So traveling out, moving my son, about a month later, I was traveling. I think I actually called you when I was on the road, and I'm like, we need to get together when I get back. And I said, because I think this is the way I'm going to be. I've met so many amazing people. It wasn't about my foundation no more. It wasn't about what we were doing. It was about all these people I were meeting in the community that was like us, that needed resources for their organizations. And by the way, it wasn't mine. Feed My Lambs wasn't mine. It was just a simple fact. We were trying to help them raise money. That's all it was.
You latched on to them.
Yeah, I latched on to them because I seen the need. So
and your mom had a history with them.
She did, and I knew how important it was to our community where we lived over there. Elementary schools, those little kids, I mean, they're 5 to 10 years old roughly, and they didn't have a voice. So that was the whole idea behind what we were doing.
A little light on food. Especially on the weekends.
It was a weekend.
And the COVID.
Yes.
That COVID patch was awful for them.
It had been around for a long time, but when I through the few years I'd already been doing that, I'd met these amazing people, and it might be, something random. Like I'd call you, Derek, and I'd be like, hey, would you like to help us with the Feed My Lamb organization? You're like, well, Neil, yeah, I'd love to, man, but I'm neck deep helping Healing Hearts Child Advocacy, and man, that's all I can do to give them, So I started doing that, and then I'd call and find out about what they was doing, and find out they were doing amazing work in the community, or Miss Ann Lunsford's Precious and Pink House. Like there's just different people out here doing amazing things, and I realized it wasn't just us, and it wasn't just, they had the same needs. The same thing was awareness and resources in order to kind of do what they need to do, and
tapping into different facets of need.
And connecting people. So that's where I come up with ideas like, how do I do more? How do I help others? And so
podcasting is the answer.
That was the answer. That's what I come up with. And after I came on Chris's show, I realized that he wasn't doing it on his own. I didn't know how he was doing it, but I knew he was out here doing it already. And we told that story about how I'd met him years before that. We were friends, and I met him maybe the day he started talking to his phone on a garbage can, like that day, and it was kind of funny. But however, it's a great tool, and I realized I need to keep it local as much as I could. I didn't know a name, and the name came about just because I didn't know anything else to call it. You know what I mean? So I just knew I was a dummy. I didn't have no expertise in anything, and I was trying to make it about local things. So that's hence the name Local Yokels.
I like it.
Yeah. So when we did start the show, I didn't know anything other than I just know I needed to help people, whether it be through their businesses. And I only wanted to help people who help others. So, like the people that you've seen on my show, I mean, they give back. You know what I mean? So I promote them.
Just like Fancy Nancy in a foundation. Yeah. They need assistance to then feed whoever they're trying to support, whether it's women from domestic abuse to children and no food to everything in between, animals. So we launched late 2024 at my first location.
October, maybe.
It was October-ish.
Late
and
October.
Then Neil's been with me through the second studio over at Big Note Music Lessons, moved over to this new location here.
We're in the third location.
Location. Thanks for hanging in there with me and all the issues. He lived through my leg break, which is a constant joke on this show now that I always talk about.
Cannonballing. You really did cannonball life that day.
Certainly.
That was another show they do.
Certainly. But
our whole principle about what we're trying to do, just to be clear, Derek, is, it's not about me. I know a lot of people think, well, this dude's everywhere. I really don't want to be a podcaster. That's the truth. And I've told you that before. And I'll offer my seat to anybody. that wants to come in and take my place, because what it is, we're just trying to gather more resources for more people and connect them. You know, I know you joke about the community Cupid thing, but it's a real thing. Like, I think the reason why you recognize that, you're like, dude, he is literally trying to connect this person.
I see
I'm
it.
trying to get you.
Which is why you do need to be the podcaster.
That's probably what it is.
The host needs to have that heart connection to it.
I guess so.
It's not just ask question and wait for answer. You
like
have a heart into it.
Right. And it's a passion, you know, and there's no money being made in this game. It costs money. You know what I mean? It costs money. So it's the foundation we started just because we needed to get more organized, because we got bigger. So we needed some actual, it's a legitimate 501c3. So we are on the board with the government, the state, whoever. So our books are open and transparent to anybody who wants to look at them.
Electrical Repair and Installation specializes in both commercial and residential remodeling, service work, custom new construction, and standby generator installation. They are family men and women who treat all of their customers like family. There are no jobs too big or small, and they guarantee customer satisfaction every time. Contact Brock Williams at 901-334-7771. Electrical Repair and Installation, proudly serving the Mid-South for over 10 years.
This Jeep we're giving away, we'd already given away a vehicle prior to getting it started, but we had huge success with that. The community really surrounded us with that.
That was for Feed My Lambs last year.
Yeah,
it was a big car show. What kind of truck was it? A Chevy?
78 C10 Resto Mod. It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And Richard Smith won that in Walls, and we were able to bless them with a lot of money. Man, like, we got them fixed up for a while. You know, we're going to still do car shows and stuff like that, but we won't have to do another vehicle for them for a long time. You know, so we've done good with them, but they can just, you know, they're in a good spot. Now, luckily, they don't have any overhead in that organization, so they don't have this everyday employee thing that's going on with some of these other organizations. But we decided to create Fancy Nancy. I knew right away the first one was going to be House of Grace, because it was dear to my mother, and I am very close with Sarita Drake. Yep. So I love her to death. I think that she's amazing. I didn't know Miss Katie or Lorraine Katie that started it, but I know that her passion was similar, you know, and to start something like that, and you know, it takes so many resources to run a program like that, you know, and it's never enough. So
they have paid employees there. It's a facility.
They're trained, by the way. They're not just like hire you off the street. You know what I mean? They have to be social workers, counselors. They have to know what they're doing.
It's a nonprofit, but it's run like a corporation.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be, because I mean they have a budget to go by and all that stuff. So I just thought, well, you know, if we can ease the pain a little bit of the having to figure out where the money's going to come from. You know, even if it's just a small little piece of what we can do for them, we can assist in that, take a little pressure off of her and others during that time, you know, because I'm sure their board members and everything else are always trying to figure out how we're going to do this, you know, like, and then Sarita she's a very faithful person, you know, so she always talks about how, I don't know where it's going to come from, Neil, but it always does. You know, and so that just shows you where she's at. Like, she just puts a lot of faith and hard work. You know, she's everywhere.
And she has a testimony in her own life of dealing with domestic abuse.
Yeah, she's a survivor. She came through that house. Yeah, and so did Melissa DeBar, who's American Fight Stories friend of mine. She sits on my board, but she's also a survivor of the House of Grace. You know, that's how I met her. I had them on the show. You know, and we all connected. You know, it's very unique. And then they feel this connection to my mother. They didn't know her. But like, I mean, I think Sarita kind of met her way back when, but it was before Sarita was running the house, you know. But anyway, so that was the goal. We got this awesome Jeep now we're giving away.
Let's talk about the Jeep.
Yeah, that's the Jeep, man.
2013 Jeep Rubicon, but this thing is decked out.
Yeah.
So I also listed off.
Nothing old on it, by the way.
I printed off all the sponsors so we can thank them because they made this Jeep look amazing. You got Spider Off-Road, MSJ Off-Road, Roofworks again, our good friend Randy there, Duckworthy, Sticky Tints, and I'm going to flash up a picture here. And so you can see the Jeep and see the flyer. And it's $20 a ticket, but then there's a deal if you buy more tickets. It's a discount,
so like if you buy like 3 tickets for $50, 7 for $100. So by the time if you spend a $100 package, you're paying like $14.50 a ticket.
It's a real good deal.
Yeah.
For the car nerds out there, it's a 3.6 liter with auto trans, TerraFlex suspension, Falcon shocks, Falcon steering stabilizer, Geo brakes. I don't know what that means.
People don't know. They know the Geo.
37 Mickey Thompson Baja Boss MT on dirty life wheels.
Well, yeah, and they're true beadlocks. So these people know.
Neil's a car guy.
Yeah, I am.
And there's also a subset category in the Local Yokels podcast, which is fascinating. Is we talk to a lot of racers.
Oh, I do. I have
it's really cool
because of the raffle stuff.
The car community,
the car culture, if you will.
Culture.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's everything from drag racers to dirt track racers to photographers. I've really kind of got a large scope of these folks involved because of what I do, and I need them, by the way, and they know that. I don't mix no bones about it.
And they step up quick to help.
They do, man. Everywhere I go, I can tell you right this. I'm gonna give Mike Abbott a shout out real quick because we were down. He Steel Rose Metal Co. That's the name of the group, and I meant to
drives a 100-year-old vehicle.
Yes, legit 100-year-old vehicle. And I forgot something today. I bought a hat from him, and I'm gonna do a shout out later for this. Actually, give me a second here, and I'm gonna do it.
Boom! Just like that, we're back.
Magically appeared with my new hat.
Now Neil has a new hat on. So Mike Abbott is one of those guys that he lives in the past. Like he dresses like he's in the 20s.
Yes.
He only works on old vehicles.
Yes.
and steel working, and then now this hat's got that classic look. So what kind of what's it called? What's he call it? A flat cap?
Yeah, they're flat caps. But I will say this real quick before I take it off and we cut away so we don't show my bald head. But he gave me a piece. This suit was made in 1960.
Okay.
That this hat's made out of. So they recycle the old suits into flat caps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is an ode to my cousin, Minnie Pearl.
She's your cousin?
Yeah.
Minnie Pearl?
Yeah, her name was Sarah Colley.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, she always had that tag hanging, didn't she?
So I think that's going to be my new thing. If you see me, I'm going to have Mike Abbott's flat caps on.
They're going to be like, this guy looks special.
I bought this from him. I told him I wanted one. So we got to make sure this isn't short clips, by the way, because I want him to see this.
Okay.
And, y'all go to Mike Abbott, Steel Rose Metal Co.com and on Facebook and get you one of these hats.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, look at it. He's magically back.
Magically back to the Neil.
I'm gonna have you scoot to your
Carhartt
left a little bit. There you go.
Carhartt Neil. I'm back on the show.
So to go back to the car culture, like you said, as we're still talking about the Jeep, which is $20 raffle ticket, go to FancyNancyFoundation.com, buy you a ticket.
Yeah.
Chance to win a beautiful Jeep. What I've learned through your guests and editing their shows and hearing these stories, the car culture, the people are very generous and giving.
Man, the best.
You would think they're kind of gruff, right? I mean, these are guys in the garage, and they're tough and they're gruff, but they're quick.
Yeah,
quick to give, because a lot of these racers know and understand what it needs to be able to get. They need sponsors.
Sure.
And it's a give and get, and it's a supporting, and even if it's not money. We've had some sprint drivers in here that they have some great sponsors that just gave them better tools or better gear, or it's really cool. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating culture.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I was going to say about Mike, and it's not just him. I mean, I don't call him ahead of time. I sometimes will ask permission if I can show up with the vehicle that I have that we're raffling, just in case they're raising money for something else. I don't want to, because they're all, nonprofits, by the way. I don't know if people know this about car clubs. Most of them are nonprofits, and so they're charitable, But I don't want to step on something they're doing with bringing the Jeep in. So typically, though, I pull up. They're like, no, man, you park up front. And I'm like, well, you don't have to do that. But they'll put me up there because they want to see it do good, and they know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I love them all. And I could name off 100 of them right now that's helped me so much in the last couple of years. So thank you to all of you that's helped me, because y'all have helped Fancy Nancy Foundation really grow and be something cool for the community. So.
And Fancy Nancy hasn't even had its full first year yet, right?
Yeah, probably 6 months old. Yeah. So we're, we're growing on Facebook. By the way, we do more than just that. Like we got all kinds of different little raffles going. This show probably won't air. I don't know when you're going to air it, but we'll probably give away our cooler already. But $5 for a $300 Yeti cooler. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're on Facebook, Fancy Nancy Foundation, right?
Yeah, go follow the page.
Follow that page.
Yeah, FancyNancyFoundation.com. If you don't have Facebook, you can get on there that way and get involved with what we're doing as well. Most anybody we're working with is going to share our content and what we're doing. We've had a lot of great partners too, by the way. I don't want to forget that. From Sheriff Tuggle to D.A. Barton.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
A lot of these great community leaders that you've befriended because you are the Cupid of the community.
I don't know about that.
Because you're not shy. You're gift of gab, this guy, and you make friends with anybody to the point where they trust you and what you're doing and give their time to do a quick little video next to the Jeep. Well, Sheriff Tuggle, D.A. Barton. Who's Sheriff Tuggle's assistant? Tish. We had Sheriff.
Man, we've had everybody. We've had the chief of police, Horn Lake. Get involved, the mayor of Horn Lake. I mean, there's more coming, by the way. I got some in the can. Too many to mention at this point, but they've been amazing, you know, and what I see is that means that they trust me a lot to know that we're going to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you right now, Sheriff Tuggle and D.A. Barton are not going to get on anything that they know they're going to take some heat over, you know, because so I value all these great relationships.
And we're not going to make them look bad for any reason.
Never.
You know?
They know
they've been on the pod too.
Yes.
In full length interviews. And Tuggle is like, whatever, I don't need to listen.
Yeah, that's
just publish it.
Yeah, that's right. And they don't usually do that, folks.
Yeah.
Like, they got questions. When I first started talking to them, like, what are you going to ask them? You know, by the way, I couldn't talk to them. I had to talk to some handlers. But they trust us so much, not just me, but our whole SRP organization. You know what I mean?
A lot of these same people have been on with Coach or Melissa DeBar.
Absolutely. So it's not just me. I want to be clear of that.
Yeah.
We've all built this reputation around SRP Studios to where we're a trustworthy group to get involved with because we're not going to shine.
And I
bad
thank
lights.
you for that, partially. Like you said, Coach and Melissa too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we're all, this room, whether it's this location or the last two, and then this show specifically, you know, anything I've ever done with SRP, I always try to do it to try to help others, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Because that's where podcasting is really, that's where the value is.
I think so.
If you're building a podcast specifically to monetize, you got a long road ahead of you.
Oh my gosh, man. I don't know how people make money at. I mean, like,
if you do have like next level ratings, then you have real advertisers that all they care about is the reach.
Yeah, that's right.
And have had a great history of sponsors for this podcast because just like the theme we're talking here, they ended up trusting me. And they just wanted to back this show up because they knew it was helping.
Absolutely.
Know? So that's where it can happen.
Yeah, it can.
But really the value, even if you're a business trying podcasting to grow your business, it's the connections that you make. Look at all the people you've met.
Oh, man, it's been amazing.
Your podcast.
And another thing is I'm aware of the fact that it will never grow beyond here. You know what I mean? Because it's so locally centric.
But that's what you wanted, right?
Right. That's what I wanted. So that's what I'm saying. It was never about money. It was never about being a podcaster or views. The views only I need because it helps these other organizations that I have on that I want to put the shine on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where the followers are important for simply just that. You know, otherwise, you know, I keep paying, you know, I keep wanting to come. I spend my time. I don't live as close as everybody else does. I mean, I live like probably 40 minutes from here, 45.
How deep in walls do you live?
I mean, I live as far as you can go up to the state line just about. Okay. I mean, you know, it's pretty, I mean, you know, it's not real far, but I mean, you know, as a crow flies, I mean, it's another 40 minutes of my time that I got to do to get here. You know?
I was hoping to move my studio to Marshall County. You cool with that?
That'd be terrible. But I'd be there.
No.
Yeah, I'd be there.
No way.
Yeah, we'd be doing remote Zooms at that point. No, I'd probably figure out a way to make it happen, honestly, dude.
Look, I've had to move twice, and I've managed to stay in Hernando. There's a reason. There's a reason for that. I love it here.
So we do the show out of Hernando, and that's what I try to tell my guests sometimes. And like, they don't know where we're filming. You know what I mean? Right. It's so unique because the show looks pretty much the same no matter what location we're in. That's because of Derek. Yeah. By the way, I don't believe, and I think everybody that has done shows here, none of this would be possible without you, Derek. And I want people to be understanding that.
Thank you for that.
Because you deal with some difficult, conversations with us at times too. You know, like, and I know with you, like it's, I do long shows.
It's all right.
Yeah, Derek.
He's the Joe Rogan model.
Well, I don't know about that. And
it's not 3 hours, but it's an hour and a half.
Can you imagine having to edit that thing every day? Oh, God. And he releases like one a day.
I would be asking for a raise.
I bet he pays that guy pretty good.
Oh, they do okay.
Yeah, they do okay.
Joe Rogan does just fine.
Yeah, they do. And so we don't have a lot of, so just the idea behind it is like I'll have people on that have a reach, that have something to say about the community, like, sometimes they got 0 followers. Right? You know, we've had some recent people on that's like they're the bottom end of the whatever they're doing.
So if we can help them get 10 follows, it's great. Yes,
man, it's great. So, and then we have people on that's like really well known, and we're just trying to spotlight them because they want to help us get more followers to help us do what we do to attach people to the ones that need it.
Nice.
So there's like this thing with the car culture, like I spotlight some of them because they spotlight us. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
man, I don't want to make this sound like we're patting ourselves on the back here, but I have a legitimate story I want to share with you.
Okay.
That involves your podcast, and why not do it right now while we're on this podcast?
Okay. All right.
This is a great example of how dots can connect.
Yeah.
So on this podcast, by now, I've already published an episode with Amber and Brock Williams from electric repair and installation. Mm-hmm. But they also have a ministry called Lifehouse, and it's a organization, a nonprofit to help displaced pregnant women.
Amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And already, because we've talked to other people.
Yeah.
So come to find out, Brock tells me, he's like, I don't follow him, but somehow the Local Yokels podcast was in my feed.
Yeah.
And it was a clip with the guy from the Warrior Center.
Okay. Yeah.
And prior to that, they had lost their house mom, or so the house was empty. They have a legit a building that can house 4 women.
Sure.
But it was empty. It wasn't working because they didn't have a house mother.
Yeah.
And they were like praying about it. They're very much the Christian praying type, and they couldn't figure out who they could find, and it was just at a stalemate.
Yeah.
Until they saw your clip.
Wow.
They reached out to, what was his name? David
Vincent.
They reached out to him. David was like, I didn't know you guys existed. Oh, and the critical part of this clip was, in that clip, David was talking about how he likes resourcing. If someone goes to him and they're not the fit, he knows where to bring them. And he's like, I don't know where to bring women that are pregnant.
That's right. Yeah.
And Brock and Amber are like, we're right here. So boom, they connected. David helped them find a house mom, and then now they're up and running again. So
I just got chills.
Isn't that cool?
Well, yeah, because there's times, and I'll share this, and I mean, I don't get emotional much, but like that really, really like validates why I do it. And I get stories sometimes just when I think, man, I've done it all. I've done enough shows. I need to focus on something else. And every single time, and this has happened more and more probably in the last couple of months, I guess I was just like, I need to move on to something new. I podcasted enough, to where I got enough shows to be enough awareness. But man, I'm telling you, like more often than not, Derek, those stories are starting to pop up, and it shows that what we're doing does matter. Somebody's watching. Mm-hmm. You don't even know who. It may not be a follower.
It feels like you're in a vacuum, but sometimes it does connect.
Yeah, and so like with that's amazing. I didn't know that, and that's amazing. So but there again, when I get that feedback, it's important, folks. So like for us as show, like the ones that are doing these shows, we don't know who's watching. We don't really know we're impacting. But if you got a good story like that, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
I know. I'm so glad I thought of it right now.
Cool.
What a great way to do it on this show. Yeah. But yeah, this was just a couple weeks ago as we filmed this today.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So then, offline here, I'll connect you so then maybe they can be on your show. Yeah,
man, we'd love to spotlight them because I've done things with Tabernacle, who also does the baby stuff. South Haven Care Center, they're amazing. Mm-hmm. Miss Claudia and those guys up there, and there's just so many needs.
There's organizations and ministries out there for a lot of different things that we don't know about.
Right. So one of the most important people I've met in the last year, Carmen Beckel. She's a special victims advocate for the DeSoto County District Attorney's Office, and this lady is a connector because she needs resources all the time. Like she's trying to find for her victims, she's trying to find resources. So she's figured out, like she's kind of like me. Like I'm not saying I'm on her level. That's what I'm saying. But what I mean in the standpoint of we meet these people when we're trying to connect them because we're like, you guys are doing similar stuff. You really need to know each other, because you don't know. You know what I mean? It goes back to why I started podcasting, because I started meeting all these people doing this amazing stuff. And some of it was duplicate type efforts. Mm-hmm. So if you can kind of connect them and they can join forces, they're better, stronger, for sure.
100%.
Rely on each other for resources and stuff like that. And that's happened through domestic violence with the Buchanan House Project, getting them connected with House of Grace. I mean, it's been a lot of good stuff in the last year. But Carmen is one of those people that people don't realize how important she is to our community. I say this all the time. She may be one of the most valuable individual people in our community about the knowledge and the people she knows and who she advocates for, because she knows everybody and she can get things done.
And she knows everybody because of networking. And that's,
And she knows the right people when it comes to, like she can make a phone call, people answer. You know what I mean? So if they don't, they got to wonder, why is the person from the DA's office calling me? You know?
And
so,
you're going to be that. You're already that person. People will call you looking for a resource.
I do get that a lot, but not in the same capacity as she does. Yeah, it's a different thing. But I think what I'm saying is we're much like in the standpoint of where we're trying to connect people with resources, you know, and they even have a DeSoto County Coalition of Social Services now that she connected me with. It's an amazing group, you know, and it's
just the name of that tells you.
Yeah.
It's they're trying to make connections. You know? So
I've been to the last couple of meetings they've had, and I meet new people every time there. They're just trying to do the same things, and they're just in awe about the fact this exists. And finally, there's some more people like me, you know, in the community. That's what they're saying. I'm not there because what I see, Derek, is what we do as a foundation. It's fairly unique because we're not doing the hard work. They're in there doing the hard work, dealing with the victims, helping people with whatever problem.
You don't have a facility housing people.
Yeah, none of that stuff.
You're not housing food.
We're just trying to provide some resources. That's all we're trying to do is help take a little pressure off of them from a standpoint of where they can focus on the hard work. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about where's the money going to come from this month to do this or that. You know, it might be a special thing. And so like with the House of Grace, I know they get some funding from the state and things like that, but there's strings attached. They have to spend it a certain way. Like it has to be paid for, employees, rent, whatever it may be. So I wanted the money to come from this Jeep, which we're already putting in place. We've already given them checks. You know, every time we get a certain amount built up in the account, I give it to them. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's not at the very end.
No. She needs that money now. You know what I mean? And so I went to the board and I asked permission for them if it'd be okay that we created a special, like a client emergency fund, you know, and they were like, yes. I asked the president of the board just to make sure it was good and approved because Sarita, she operates, she's a director, but she's not on the board.
Yeah, so
they're her boss.
She's beholden to them.
Beholden to them, but also they allow her to do her thing.
Of course, yeah.
You know, it's just checks and balances, you know. In a nonprofit, everything's about documentation. So I wanted this to be to where I trust her so much and her devotion to what those ladies and men, but mostly ladies, are going through and the children. I wanted a client emergency fund put in place with this money so that she could use it as she see fit to help them. Yeah. Sometimes beyond the house. Like, you know, it's maybe in their DV they had a busted jaw and lost teeth or whatever the case may be. She can help them get the resources for that. That's just an example. You know what I mean?
Or as small as some toiletries for the house.
Yeah, a new house they're setting up or something where she's like, they need this in here right now. Yeah, but it's really for emergency funds. Like it's more in line with like they've got a job. You know what I mean? They can't get there. They need a new tire. You know what I mean? Like maybe a new tire.
Just something. Yeah.
She might be able to get that for them, call somebody that can give it to them cheap. Boom, it's done. Instead of having to go through the board or ask permission or whatever. It's there.
Right.
It's there. So that's the goal behind that. And we're already cutting checks, man. I mean, you can call them up there right now and they'll tell you, yes, sir, Fancy Nancy Foundation's already been giving us money. Awesome. We're not waiting till the end.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because your goal is you're going to raffle the Jeep off when you sell 5,000 tickets?
Total tickets, yeah. Once the last ticket's sold, we will call everybody that bought a ticket, mostly email because that's what we require to buy a ticket because we're going to send out a mass email saying, hey, 2 weeks from the day that we sell the last ticket, might be next month, might be 6 months, I don't know. Yeah. But point being is like, we're going to set up a time and date once the last one's sold. And it'll probably be somewhere local in the county, big parking lot. We'll have a big cruise-in party just to kind of give it away. You know, that'd be fun too. Create a whole new event around it.
Yeah, which then that event itself could raise money.
That's right. It does. Yeah. Matter of fact, I wish I had a little forethought on this, but you know, it's already going to pass. But like MSJ Off-Road, who helps sponsor it, they're having a topless event we're going to this Saturday, which will be probably whenever you release it.
Did you say a topless event?
That's what it's called. Go topless. But it's because of Jeeps, you know.
You know where my squirrel brain went.
Well, that's where my squirrel brain went too. And I think most.
And that's why they did that.
That's right.
It's genius.
It is genius. And so they invited us over, and they're going to spotlight us and give us all the proceeds from the T-shirt sales that day. And I mean, this is all going to be past tense probably when the show comes out. But again, just community partners, Spider Off-Road, Duckworthy Inc., Roofworks, they see our mission, you know. So MSJ Off-Road,
Spider, Sticky Tents.
Sticky as well. They're also part of they're pretty much Duckworthy Inc. That's who they are. Okay. They're in the same building. They kind of work off the same organization, but they're the ones who wrapped it for us. So it gave us a heck of a deal.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a cool Jeep.
Purpose built. Like when I visioned it, I shouldn't say it's all about me. I don't want to say because I have a board. I have a daughter that's super like her name is Ashlyn, I can just tell her what I'm talking about, and boom, it appears.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's magical.
She's great on your socials.
She is, man. She's all over it. So I run it across everybody, what do they think? But ultimately, I guess they trust in my vision. You know, I really do. And so I had this idea that we would kind of make it purple and white because domestic violence color is purple, but have the sayings inside the wrap, you know, stop the cycle, things like that. I wanted it to be specific to the domestic violence needs, you know, and the things that we're after, and not just raise money, but bring awareness at the same time and educate people.
Yeah, because that Jeep is out. You're bringing it to car shows.
Everywhere.
You're bringing it everywhere.
I drive it right now. I'm driving it every day.
There's a big QR code on the back windshield.
Yeah, it says "Win me."
Win me. Scan it. Buy your ticket.
Yeah, and they're cheap, man. So like, it's a good way. But you're helping a great organization with Feed My Land, with House of Grace. So we've got the next one picked out. I've already notified the lady that we're going to help. It's another community program that we can't go without. You know, and I'm not going to announce that just yet. Okay. But she's aware. Well, I've had her on my show, and they're very.
I'm trying to. I don't even know.
No. I'm not going to tell anybody till we get done with the House of Grace.
Of course,
yeah. Because I need to have the focus stayed on them. 100%, you know, but it's another one of those that, like, with great. I mean, I'm going to talk crap about the state of Mississippi, the way they help people, because you know what I mean. Like they don't help anybody. You know, it's a pull yourself up by your bootstrap state, and I hate it. You've heard me talk about it 100 times on my show. So they rely on people like us to get out and help the community and churches and things of that nature, individuals. And this organization that I found that needs it, just like House of Grace. They got to survive. We can't do without them. If there was no House of Grace in this other organization, who would fill those shoes?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Where did the victims go?
Yeah, because in their interviews, you hear about how for many miles, the House of Grace is the only spot.
That's it, man.
In like the northern half of the state.
13 counties. Yeah. And we recently got the Tabernacle come on board, as well as the Buchanan House Project, which has just been in the last 6 months. They popped up, both of them. I think Tabernacle's been around for a while, but people didn't know about them. That's why I had them on the show, so we could spotlight them. They're an amazing church and organization, by the way. Go check them out, follow them. But
they do so many things.
But there again, these are emergency hotel situations, and they were trying to provide services. And I told them to reach out to House of Grace, and I realized at the time, House of Grace probably needed them more than they needed a House of Grace, because they can utilize their emergency needs, to get them into a hotel, because the House of Grace stays full all the time.
Yeah, there's overflow.
So if you want to support DV, that also is an option. You know, they need the money and resources. Again, raffles to resources. That's what our new
raffles to resources. Yep. I like that. I love
That's what we're doing. So, and it's all just to help the community. And I love everybody that's helped us so far. And for those who don't, that's cool too. Maybe the next one. You know what I mean? And I know times are tough right now. $20 is $20 for a lot of people with the gas prices the way they are, cost of goods. So,
But if you go to Starbucks every day,
I think you can
sacrifice a handful of coffees. You're good.
Help out domestic violence victims, and every penny's going to them. Like, the only thing we recover out of is the vehicle cost, and only because we're going to build another one. You know what I mean? That's it.
There's another one right after this.
There's one right after this. Matter of fact, it'll probably be being prepped. When we get to the last probably 1,000 tickets, we'll start buying the next one and getting it ready to go. Yeah, because we want it to be fresh on the heels of the next one.
Do you know what kind of vehicle? You don't have to make any announcements.
Yeah. So
do you have an idea?
Yeah, in my head. Me and my daughter and Randy's been talking about it quite a bit. And,
it's a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, 2000.
It's my Corolla.
You need to sell it, yeah. But yeah, we've got an idea, and it's always going to lay in the ideas of something super cool that everybody might want. Like it's a super cool hot rod or Camaro or 4x4 truck or who knows, just something cool. We just want something that's going to be eye catching that everybody desire and can get it for like $20. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
And I want everybody to be able to participate in it. So,
again, FancyNancyFoundation.com. That's the place to buy the tickets.
Yeah.
Just go there, get your tickets, put in a little information, and like Neil said, once they hit 5,000, then they're going to announce when they'll do the drawing. There'll be an event. The Jeep will be there. Plenty of pictures of the Jeep on the website. It's right there,
man.
As soon as
if you haven't seen this Jeep already, you must not be on Facebook. This thing's everywhere.
So yes, follow them on Facebook, Fancy Nancy
FancyNancyFoundation.com.
Follow the local Yokels podcast on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
The podcast is also on Instagram and TikTok, and
it is, but
this is a Facebook community for this podcast as well.
Yeah, it is for sure. Like this podcast and this organization is really designed just for Facebook. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Now, Derek does put it on YouTube, and I do have some good people that listen to those. You know, they tell me that's how they watch the show or listen to it on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and as well as YouTube.
Yeah, you have plenty of people that it's just audio only. That's all they like. While they're driving. Yeah. So, okay. Make channels for them. Yeah. People prefer YouTube. Let's make a channel for them.
A couple of months ago, I called Derek and I'm like, why aren't we on Amazon? He goes, I don't know.
He was so mean, too.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you think? And he goes, well, I mean, I think I could put it on there. No problem. I said, well, I've got one specific friend of mine that says she would love it because that's what she chooses to listen to her music and her podcast. So Derek put it up there, and you said there's already new followers behind that. Like, it's already picking up. Yeah. I don't know the numbers. I don't ask the numbers. I just trust in the fact that when you said earlier about your story, that just means that the right person heard it at the right time. That's it.
The right person heard the right person on the show speak.
Yes.
And was talking about the exact need that they could help with. Yeah. It was wild when he told me that.
I'm going to tell you, man. And then we had, like Luke, we had on the show, he got a sponsor out of the show and a job.
Yeah, so Luke Goolsby, a sprint car driver, driver. I don't know the terminology.
XC Gear, Lance Smith. I had him on the show, and he got a job and a sponsor out of it just because he was on the show. I mean, that's pretty much how it worked, and so. Because he met Luke, and he was a pretty cool kid and had some knowledge and lived local. It was just a good match at that point in time. So I hope it works out for him. But, little things from like, people go donate stuff and they hear about the needs of a place that I'm talking about. They might show up with toilet paper or whatever the case may be, pillows. I think Sarita said one time after a show that we specifically talked about pillows on the show, and all of a sudden this group of ladies out of Oxford showed up with a bunch of pillows, So that's huge. Somebody's listening. Yeah. You know what I mean? And thank y'all all for tuning in and watching the local yokels. Anything that SRP Studio does, by the way. So,
It was funny. Me and Coach do a podcast called Cannonballing Life. Yeah. Yes, that's connected to the cannonball. The cannonball.
The accident. Yeah.
Well, it's been mentioned many times in the show. Yeah. Coach doesn't like flying. It's more about the staying parked on the tarmac waiting. Yeah. In the tube, the anxiety. Yeah. Once you're up in the air, he's like, we're moving, we're good. Yeah. It's just the taxiing. And anyways, the moral of the story is anxiety and stress and everything. And next thing you know, people are sending him gummies and some just stuff like that. And he's like, I'm good, but thanks, but I'm good. Yeah. But it goes to that. You just don't know. Yeah, you don't know who's listening.
Sometimes you just think you're talking to each other. You don't know if anybody's ever going to hear it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if they're just clicking in and clicking out, or they watch the whole episode, you don't know. So whatever you
and not every topic or guest might be for. Yeah. Some people are like, well, this week it wasn't me. Then the next week.
So that specific friend who I love her to death, I'll call her out. We'll call her Lasagna because her name's Luana, and I'll call her out and see if she watches the show. But she don't like racing. She care less about cars. Right. So when she sees that, she's like, Neil, I'm just not going to listen to that just because it's you. And I'm like, hey, I get it.
Come back next week. Next week we'll be talking about human
trafficking or something. Yeah, because that's where my show goes from fun to extreme, difficult topics.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure to touch on that too as a way to promote the podcast, because it also goes to the tough spots, right? Like you are good with being able to have those kinds of discussions too. Discussions that, regardless of whatever podcast I'm hosting, things I won't touch. Because I just don't feel like I can speak on it eloquently enough. Yeah. And try to say the hard things. Yeah. But not get too graphic or too political or too argumentative. But you go there, and we've had some deep topics on your show with the human trafficking and
sexual abuse,
child abuse,
everything. Yeah, DV, all that stuff, and that's important. I know cancer's a big thing; it's a big topic. Medical stuff's big, and that's cool. But I think I focus more on the side of the predators of society. Mm-hmm. They just burn me up, man. Mm-hmm. I just don't think they need to be walking the face of the earth. So right, exactly. So I'm all about how do we stop them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, how do we deal with them? We, you know how I feel about this stuff, because you've listened to more hours of me talk than probably anybody I know.
Every hour. Every
Yeah.
second of
Every
your podcast.
second. Yeah. You probably
That's
know
what
me
I
better.
do, man. That's what I'm here
right.
for.
That's right. But thank you for that. And like I said, man, I mean, I appreciate you spotlighting me today, and the foundation, FancyNancyFoundation.com. You guys, please help us out. You know, support it. It's all local stuff. This gets back in the community. You know what I mean? And it may be your daughter or your mother or your sister or your neighbor. I mean, who knows? It's not prejudice, by the way. It tackles every part of society DV does. So,
and it's out there in front of you more than you realize.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's hidden.
Yeah, it's very hidden.
Very hidden.
Plain sight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because you don't see actual markings on someone's body and face doesn't mean that the abuse isn't there.
Exactly.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah,
that's what we've learned too.
Right.
Well, and so please, to those watching and listening, share this episode if you have heard anything in here that you think you can help with, someone that Neil needs to know. If you are like, I need to introduce someone to Neil.
Yeah.
Come on, throw it in a comment, reach out. The Real Hernando, the Real Hernando at gmail.com. I think what it is. I don't even remember my own email.
You can't sing it because you're on a cannonball and you sing it all the time. So
that's right.
Yeah. You can't say it with normalcy. Yeah,
the Real Hernando at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Again, we're on Apple, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. TheRealHernando.com is the place to go. Again, thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Neil. Thank you for all you do for me.
I appreciate it, brother. You too. Same at you.
You know, you've stuck with me through some downtime and it's always been there.
Yeah.
And I want this to continue. So I never want you to get bored with podcasting, people. So just go watch and
feedback.
Let him know how his show goes. The local Yokels podcast.
The feedback's good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, all. Thank you, and have a great day.
Next time. Later.